All right, it is that time. We have continued with our monthly sales. We are back for September now. This one took a little bit longer to get out, but I am once again joined by Jay for our beta coverage. Hello, Jay.
How's it going?
We have
Always nice.
quite some cool stuff to talk about.
Do we though? Do we really?
Well, we have four things to talk about. Two
Yeah,
of them
kind
are very neat. Two of them are whatever. So one's the Painter Scale Honeycomb Weaver. Painter Scale Honeycomb Weaver is from Pinups of Death 3, I think. And now it's just a Painter Scale. Or Honeycomb Weaver is from Pinups of Death 3, and now I think it's just a Painter Scale. She might be slightly different. I don't remember. But that was one of the things.
Usually a little more detailed, if anything.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a little bee. She looks like she's a little bit more detail. Very neat looking sculpt. The other one is the new Death High Moss, which is, again, just more Death High. Very interesting to see Moss. Nice to flesh out her character. She's got piercings.
She, yeah, appears to be like in the rock climbing club or something, because obviously inverted mountain. She's got climbing ropes and stuff.
Correct. She looks
Like a-
cool. And then we got the best Death High mini ever. This Painter Scale.
And probably the best that will ever be, because wow.
Yeah, this is so cool. So we got the Death High senior Allister making his triumphant return after being memed on for being the regular Death High Allister.
Yes.
This is so cool. He's got the Twilight Sword. So cool. I don't know.
His motorcycle gang is the Watchers.
Yeah. So cool. He's got the Twilight Sword. It's just the singular one. He's got himself the Gen Con tote. Super
Oh,
cool.
he totally does, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the Gen
And
Con
I
tote.
guess he's got like a KDM box in the tote.
Yeah, I think it
Assume that's
is.
what that-
I can't see it, but it looks like that. So cool.
However, we do not condone underage smoking.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, he's senior. He could be 18.
No, you had to be 21.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Pull up the freaking black and white art because it's awesome. Put that on screen.
Yeah. It's so cool. The Twilight Sword. I guess Allister has a Twilight Sword, or they're just the cosplay group with the Watchers, I guess.
Now it's his motorcycle game is the Watchers.
Yeah, I know, but
Wait, is the Twilight Sword part of his bike or something?
no, it's just tied to it. You can see it's got belts right on
Oh,
it.
yeah, I can see.
It's like,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, it's literally just Cloud. Doesn't Cloud do that with his Fenrir? He's got his sword on the right side, attached to his bike.
God, it totally is Cloud, huh?
Well, I mean, not specifically, but I'm just saying the sword location being attached to the front wheels, like that's where Cloud keeps his sword. But very cool. This is such a cool thing. I haven't seen it yet. I don't think anybody's painted it. Anybody hasn't posted it, but man, I want to see the paintings of it. Or someone's painting this.
His
So-
jacket is the Twilight cloak.
Is it?
I don't know. It's got like lanterns and it's got those like rings on it.
Oh, this is so cool. This is such a cool one. This is the best Death High, like, easily now.
It might just be the best Kingdom Death mini that isn't like gameplay content.
Maybe. It's possible. That isn't gameplay content? Yeah, maybe. That's possible. Or, you mean, including non-expected ones? Because there's, like, the owl. The blushing owl was pretty cool, too.
True.
But
But like,
that's-
that's gonna get gameplay
yeah,
content.
so
like,
non-expected.
Wave 5 or whatever.
So then we had
Like,
the
obviously,
one...
the Death High dating sim or anything.
Yeah, maybe Allister and Allison got together. Maybe that's her sword and her tote. Because in her Death High, she has a Kingdom Death... she's got the Twilight Sword and the Kingdom Death box.
Maybe she's part of the Watchers gang.
Maybe she's part of the Watchers gang. It would make sense. So we got Dark of Star.
Dark of Star, yes.
Yes. This is the beta release.
Let's go around.
Yes, this is the first... I was going to say this is the first time we've now seen like Gambler's Chest beta stuff, but that's just not true because we had mist. The Riken armor had charge on it.
Yep.
And we just didn't know when it was hidden from us what it did.
Well, technically speaking, that's Ringtail beta content.
Well, yeah, now we know what it does. I mean, it's not going to get revisited, so that would safe to say that.
I don't know, maybe Riken has current.
Yeah, probably does, maybe. Who knows? But so this is the first knowledge-specific stuff. That's for
philosophy
sure.
Stuff.
She came with 2 pieces of gear. All right, we're going to talk about them, but first I want to talk about like this concept. How do you feel about philosophy locked, knowledge locked gear? That seems to me it's interesting. It's a lot of work to get to it.
So how I'm looking at this is like it is technically usable in a non Ark Survivor campaign.
Correct.
Because the Leotard gives you the tokens that you need to use the lantern.
Correct.
Technically. However, it is best used in an Ark Survivor campaign, A, where you have a lanternist, B.
Correct.
Because the lanternism, spoilers for Kingdom Gambler's Chest, whatever. The lanternism philosophy uses death tokens, which this gear also uses. So
Correct.
but before any of that, how about we just read off the lore blurb?
Sure, I was about to get to that too, because she clearly looks like, well, she's got the same artist as all the lanternism philosophy and all that stuff, and she clearly has the same motif and even looks like someone who's using that knowledge for sure.
Yeah, I'll be like, duh.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So it's stuff that's clearly meant for the lanternism philosophy. That's all I was saying. I agree with you.
Even though I'm not going to get into that. You want to read the lore blurb, or shall I?
No, go ahead.
Alrighty. In that case, Dark of Star, which is a dumb name. The strain disturbed her sleep just above the persistent rumbling din that hung over the settlement. She followed the fragile song, drifting from one pool of lantern light to the next until the sound was at her feet. Raising the ruptured lantern, she heard the familiar refrain sung by someone lost in memory. Incandescent ooze ran down the twisted filigree. She threw back her head and let the light pour into her mouth, and the song suddenly burst forth from her scorched throat. So she drank some spooky lantern goo.
Correct. That's what will happen if you drink it. No, I mean that. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the things that'll happen if you drink it. Way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she is just a lanternist from. I'm going to assume what's it called, the Deadheim, just because of the how her gear looks, but I could be wrong.
Her nomenclature's not rock themed.
Deadheim, not Dead Rock.
Oh yeah, Deadheim. Oh yeah, Deadheim. Yeah.
Like
you're correct. No, I yeah. No, yes, I agree. No.
Erza.
Yes.
Because I mean that might just be Q's art style, but yeah.
No, it's possible because she's talking about someone's lost in memory, and that's the whole thing. And it maybe is pretty close to Halloween. So.
Pretty close to Halloween 1. Her gear looks like Deadheim Lucy's 2.
Yep. I agree.
Like with her weird. It kind of reminds me of Rebellion from Devil May Cry, her sword, but just me.
No, yeah, I agree. I heard you incorrectly when you said I heard Dead Rock when you said Deadheim.
I heard Dread Rock. Yeah, I did. Deadheim probably. Yeah. That's my guess.
Nope, I agree.
would make sense in my mind. Anyway.
So let's talk about the Cenobite Leotard.
Yeah, speaking of her equipment, a note. Cenobite is the demons in Hellraiser, apparently.
Yes. You're talking about the movie franchise.
Yes, the movie Hellraiser, movie series. The demons in there are called Cenobites, and it's a non-word that doesn't exist.
Correct.
Well, it's some like old name for cults or something, but yeah, it's the Hellraiser demons.
It's the Hellraisers. Yes, that is correct. That is, yep. More support for being possibly a Halloween release.
Hey, gee, Johnny. Pooch let you have 2 Halloween releases.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. So, this is I would say this is a very early game gear. Oh, so it has 2 armor. It's a chest piece. It has it's not a chest and waist, despite being a leotard, but that's okay. It's armor, leather, metal for its keywords. It has a interesting base ability, which is ignore the frenzy brain trauma. And then for its affinity locked, it's got a blue up. Its affinity lock needs a blue puzzle with just a red. And then on arrival, gain a death token for each permanent injury you have recorded. So, which one do you want to talk about first? The affinity lock.
Ignoring brain trauma, a frenzy is stupid and weird.
Oh,
it doesn't fit.
Yes, I agree. This is
I'm at this point. I'm like, there's no beating around the bush with that because we've been talking about this for the past 2 days.
Yes, we had some trouble recording time issues. Not a big deal, but yes, we have been talking about it. This is it's out of character for Lanternism itself.
Because the Lanternism knowledges, the majority of them, have the subconscious trait ability rule, where they can be used while frenzied.
Correct, but there are other things that, if you don't get that knowledge, there are some that don't. Some knowledges do not have it, and those, you could play around with frenzy and stuff. This is quite easy to craft. What was it? 2 leather and a scrap, right? I don't have the craft.
All you need is leather crafter, which is pretty early game. It's like Lantern Year 5.
Yeah, if you really push for this and you got this which you could
pre-Butcher 1.
If you hit like an early Bone Eaters, you might get enough resources to push leather early. If you got like a Royal Scalpel and stuff, I'm not saying it's common, but
I'm not even without frickin' Royal Scalpel and all that stuff. I have gotten leather crafter before. It is possible to consistently get leather crafter before Butcher 1 if you focus on Lion.
That's what I was about to say. Yes, it's harder to do. We're using Croc and stuff. But with Lion, you could get ammonia quick. You could push leather, and if you were to make this pre-Butcher, this is crazy good.
Yeah, especially with Clothes Insanity. Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy good. Ignore Brenzy Frame Trauma. That's pretty much the entire Butcher's gimmick. So,
at least at level 1, yeah, that's his main.
Yeah, you could get this
threat is infectious lunacy.
And then just ignoring Frenzy Brain Trauma, just in general, opens up some interesting doors and avenues to push builds.
Doesn't Croc do a bunch of frenzy?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could get around, like Frenzy's pretty high roll. Isn't it? It's the 10, right? It's always just the 10.
The Lantern 10.
Yeah.
Unless you have Accept Darkness. Yes.
Yes. So
this allows for better use of frenzy or of Lanternism knowledges on a non-Lanternist, because
there you go.
As it stands, Lanternism philosophies are only really good on a Lanternist.
Correct.
Because they have the core philosophy and all that.
Yep, I agree. I think this is
knowledge.
Yeah, this is really unique play.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. It's got multiple purpose. This is interesting. This honestly, this is one that could have not been beta.
It could have just been in there.
Yeah.
As like a lame pattern or something from the.
Well, I meant this could have just been white boxed. This is like this is not.
Yeah, no, it's
This is fine.
there are no new rules here.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to be beta.
Yeah.
Speaking of this being better on a non-lanternist, the affinity locked ability kind of reinforces that.
Mm-hmm.
So for blue puzzle and a red affinity, on arrival, gain a death token for each permanent injury you have recorded. The main way of generating death tokens, as far as I recall, in the Lanternism philosophy itself, is via the tenant philosophy. So if you don't have that in your tenant slot, this is a side way to get those tokens.
Correct. Yeah, because that's the Death Collector's the tenant.
Yeah, Death Collector is the tenant.
Yeah,
which gives you death.
And I forget what the neurosis is.
You can't. No, it's deadism. You can't spend Survivor while there is a fallen lantern on the.
That's
board,
it. Yes, that's correct.
It's like Vermin Obsession, but for dead survivors.
Yes, correct. So yes, you want to get that off of the. You want to use the knowledge is not on lanterns.
You want to go over there and activate it so you get the token.
Well, I meant you're right. You want to get the knowledges, but you don't want them on lanternisms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like Light Warrior is really good. Light Whisperer is really good. There are really strong knowledges within lanternism that cannot be made, or that have low Lumi costs, so you can get them on other survivors.
This has now become a review of lanternism.
Yes, I'm sorry. Apologies, put that in brackets at the end of the video description now. Anyway, yeah, it's fine.
I think this would have been great as a Halloween release, just as a white box. Maybe this will just come right out of beta.
Hard Plastic, Dark of Star next month.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's definitely the Cenobite, the Hellraiser's theme.
A painter scale, it's on a big bony stripper pole or something.
Yeah. It's neat. This is a neat one, but we said there was two, so let's just quickly talk about the second one, which is the Cenobite third one. You want to read this one?
It is red left. Archive a death token. For your next attack this round, use the accuracy, strength, and speed of a dead survivor in your campaign, in place of your own. It's not an activation, you can just do it at any time.
And what does this require to craft?
This requires to craft Memento Mori and 2 broken lanterns. That's it.
Yep.
So if it gave you luck, it would be really good. However, it does not give you luck, and therefore,
Yep. This is a weird one. It does just give you accuracy, strength, and speed. I guess that's because it's like Frenzy, but Frenzy doesn't give you accuracy.
It's like the frenzy of the dead to come to possess you, or something.
Yeah, it doesn't give you...
You're not adding their accuracy, strength, and speed. You are replacing yours with theirs. Yep. I am not certain if your gear is factored into that.
No.
So, like, if you have a Monster Tooth necklace and you activate that, do you use the dead survivor's strength plus the Monster Tooth necklace bonus?
No, you would use it as your base. I would assume that's what this is.
Yes.
Your baseline stats.
So, like, if a dead survivor had 4 strength and you have an activated Monster Tooth necklace and you pick that dead survivor, you would attack with 6 strength, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So
that is how we are basing this. Because if it's the other option,
no, it's definitely you use the dead survivor's base stats. So
and then add your modifiers. Okay.
I mean, what that does is, one, it's Memento Mori locked, which one is going to take Memento Mori before Lantern Year 10, probably.
And also, it's not useful in People of the Dreamkeeper, I think.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what this is useful for, really, because you're not gaining the evasion or the luck.
Well, evasion wouldn't matter because it's just for your attack, right?
Well, the reactions.
Yeah, the luck is the important. Well, true.
So, but
True.
You're not gaining the 2 best stats. The accuracy, I guess, is... I mean, I'm glad they put the accuracy there, because you're gaining it for the attack, and if you weren't gaining the accuracy, you could just whiff, and then you're not even getting to utilize the strength.
Well, no, because what if they just have 0 accuracy?
Well, that's what I mean. But that was the other point I was going to get. So even this is even more gated than what you think, right? Because the earlier you use this, the less powerful your dead survivors will be, because you don't have things like Clan of Death and your principal new life yet, and you haven't really cycled your new survivors into hunting yet. So the earlier you get this with Memento Mori, the weaker it is. But yet, the later you get it, the more likely everyone's base stats are going to be the same and higher anyway. So this is in a very weird position.
If I was to make this, I would have it be archive X lantern tokens or whatever, suffer the frenzy brain trauma, and for the next X rounds, you may use the knowledge of a deceased survivor. That's how I would have made it.
Sure, that would be interesting. I was just going to say, when I read this as it is right now, for your next attack, use the accuracy, strength, and speed of a dead survivor in your campaign.
It's kind of boring.
Well, no, I was just going to say, this is just another thing that's just feeding the current meta of Dark Impulse 3.
Yes. Because, yes. It is no longer a risk to have your homicidalist bite the dust, because now you can always use their superpowers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is just another thing that's fueling Dark Impulse 3, which is fine. Neat, but you're doing a lot of work to get this to be even usable. There's a lot of work to get this to be even usable, but the payoff, this has a high ceiling of power.
Yes.
But,
because the game has a high ceiling.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but the game naturally tends towards a high ceiling. So
I think the purpose of this is not to be something that you build towards and you plan a thing around. I think this is oh shit, my homicidalist with like 45 strength and 45 accuracy and 300 speed just died. What am I gonna do? Oh wait, yep. I can kind of use that still. Yep. A little.
Or this is the best lantern possible for people with lantern.
It is, in fact, possible lantern that only costs 2 broken lanterns.
Yep. This is just amazing lantern for people with the lantern. Because you're gonna,
real good.
Yeah, you're gonna be forced to use a lantern anyway. So, people with a lantern buff. Hopefully, when this becomes a seed pattern, you can make 4 of them. Then we are talking.
Well, it wouldn't become a seed pattern; it would become a lame pattern.
Sure.
As we saw.
Hopefully, you could make 4 of these. Then we're talking.
Yes. Not only is it a lantern, it is a lantern with red left, which helps activate the lantern boots.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's just very specific, and you need access to death tokens. I mean, you're using the Leotard with this, right? Because you're using the knowledge. You need access to death tokens, and then it's got a crazy high ceiling. So this is just it's just weird. It just does a very specific thing, and that thing is insanely good or very mid.
It's a fallback, and it's like an if I get to use this, that's pretty cool, but I'm not gonna build towards it, because building towards it wouldn't involve getting Dark Impulse 3, feeding a bunch of survivors to them, and then sacrificing that guy or something.
Yeah, because they're dead, so their stats are the same, right? So when they die, you gain their stats, but their stats remain because they're dead. Right? It doesn't say they lose their stats. So if you Dark Impulse 3, another person. So if you Dark Impulse of really far down the line, you get some guy who's 8 accuracy, 10 strength, and 9 speed or something. The speed's really hard to build anyway, but so let's just say 8 accuracy, 14 strength or something, and then you Dark Impulse that guy. Now you always have access to those stats, and you'll have another new person because they just Dark Impulse somebody. So it's very interesting. It's very cool, but the ceiling is crazy high, but I don't like that it already feeds into the meta of Dark Impulse 3, because Dark Impulse 3 is already kind of running wild with the meta anyway.
And it mitigates the actual risk of homicidalism of the whole roll a thing, and if it's over your body count or under your body count, then you get murdered by the settlement. Because if you're murdered by the settlement because of that, that's like your neurosis, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody puts Dark Impulse 3 on actual homicidal. I think the first person to die is usually the homicidalist. That's what everybody seems to be doing.
Rest in peace. What was that survivor's name from your first campaign?
Oh, yeah. Newt.
Newt, yep. This is the Newt Leotard.
Yeah.
Newt Lantern.
Yeah. Such a weird arc for her. She literally... It's such a weird thematic arc that she had, because she had Dark Impulse 3, and then she became a pacifist, right? But pacifist disorder prevents you from activating a weapon to attack. Doesn't stop you from using a survival to murder somebody.
Yep. The candle that burns twice as bright, burns half as long, and also is a homicidal maniac.
Yeah, she was a homicidal murderer pacifist.
The waifu who burns twice as bright gets murdered by her settlement twice as fast.
Yeah. Well, she just died to smog singers because she was a pacifist.
Anyway,
I'm excited for Halloween. I think this is one of the better betas we've talked about. I think this is such a good state. I could see this in a white box right away. This is fun. This is a good one. I like this. It's just
most of like Cyrus, because it's kind of basic and it doesn't actually give you anything new, but it's useful and cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a fine thing to just be a white box right away. It's not, like you said, it's not testing anything really. It's not beta anything. All these are old rules, so it's not really beta anything.
Any living glossary card or anything.
Yeah, so I think this one could have just come right out. I think it would have been neat. It's got a cool mini too. I like her. Just change her name.
Yeah. She has weird hair, personally, but that's just me. Anyway.
All right. Yep. So thank you for joining me, Jay.
As always.
I know. Are you prepped? Got to get prepped up. Hyping it up.
For Halloween.
No, for Halloween, yeah. But I think what will probably end up happening is I'm going to finish Gambler's Chest soon, and then we're going to revisit our prediction things.
Oh, we're going to bring up the old video.
Oh, yeah. We're going to revisit everything, so you got to get prepared. I think I'm on Lantern Year 16 currently, as of like yesterday. So, we're all good. So, I should be, it's like maybe 2 weeks? 2 weeks time. Get ready to revisit. So, I look forward to speaking with you again, Jay.
It will be an event. Mark your calendars for I don't know when.
Yeah.
In the true ATG fashion.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining me.